I don't know if you heard this.
Heard what?
There's a new meta in draft games, dude.
Oh, really? And the games that we play.
Yeah, the games that we talk about all the time and that we play a lot.
Huh.
Yeah, brand new meta. It's called Scroll the F Down.
Where have I heard this before?
I don't know. People are talking though. People are talking.
Huh.
Oh man, a touching shout out and tribute from some of the data research that Davis and Brick were doing the other day. There, I found it so funny that they did an episode obviously on this being the new meta of best ball for the summer, and I mean I think it's been the meta for a couple years now.
If you were paying attention, if you had any sort of independent thought, sure. Yeah.
Is this the brand going mainstream? Have we made it?
Yes. Yes, we have. If you know, you know. Yes, we have.
Yeah, we've stopped being this niche little bubble, this little corner community, and now we're pushing our narratives mainstream. It's going to become the movement of the future.
Yeah, surely Brick has heard you say that into his ears before while looking at a screen. I'm sure he totally knows.
Oh man. Yeah, this is the best. Chip say Davis discovered that you don't have to pick people at ADP. It's great. The reason we start there, obviously topical, but the reason we start there today is if there were ever a Scroll the F Down slate in hoops, it's today.
Yeah, you mean scroll the F down in the second round to take Domantas Sabonis? Yeah, you probably should.
Okay, so there's the slate's been low-key hat tip to Pete. It's been flipped on its head. It's Sabonis went from a D tag to a Q tag. These illness Q tags so hard to manage there, but it's a good starting point. Where should we be scrolling to get Sabonis here? Because you've talked about flow chart Spurs as you can beat them with bigs. This would be a nice matchup. At the best of times.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you can kind of hope for is that the illness is real, and like I'm not gonna gal brain and say that these illness tags are pseudo rest or whatever, but because I mean we've seen dudes play through illness and struggle big time, but I mean Sabonis against the Spurs, dude, he's a first round pick in without any injury designation. For me, pick like 14, pick 15. Hard for me to take him over Kawhi or over Kyrie Irving, but I will take him right after Kyrie. Just kind of depends on where the movement goes. You got to pay attention to it. I mean, his PRA, dude, is 4 less than Luka Doncic, who is like the 101. So, you can't. I don't think you can care about the people, and I don't think there's very many, but there are going to be some very late Sabonis teams out there. Mm-hmm. You kind of just have to I can't, and I wouldn't be blamed. I didn't have a chance to draft a ton up, and I had some things going on. I wouldn't. You can't fault anybody for not taking this risk. The D tag bullshit has been by and large not a thing this season. Mm-hmm. You finally see it here, and it is what it is.
Well, nothing says hoops is back quite like a 12-game slate with a Sabonis D tag to Q tag to most likely get a play after going through shoot around now. Like, this is just peak. Like, you guys missed hoops. You guys were begging for hoops to be back. Well, this is hoops perfectly back, right?
It's perfect. That is a saving grace, though. You mentioned this slate being big. Definitely the saving grace that, it's not like this is a 4-game slate and, you have Sabonis paired with only studs. Like, there's a lot of guys, like you mentioned, like in sincerity, this is a scroll the F down slate. There are a lot of good plays today. So it stinks, but I don't think the winner is one. I don't think the winner's been drafted just yet.
Yeah, no, I respect it. I mean, okay, so let's just think about it from range outcome standpoint, because We were talking about it on that Giannis slate. That was the most recent slate in which we played before the All-Star break. And we're like, oh man, like Q tag Giannis, here it comes, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and it didn't even matter. Like, it's like good players cannot matter sometimes. And this could very well be one of those spots where it's like they're what now? If he plays, they were 9.5-point favorites without him. If he plays, they're 11.5-point favorites, something like that at home. Spurs have a back-to-back. Maybe the Spurs just wave the white flag for the fourth quarter and Sabonis plays 28 minutes and puts up 42 fantasy points in like a really good outing. And it just does not matter on a slate this big at all.
Yeah, very, very true. Very possible.
Long-winded full circle. You're putting them at 14 right now. That's where you like them?
Yeah, I've gotten them at like 17 a couple times, but I'm taking them at 14. It won't be long until he goes before then. So by the time the show ends, he's probably going to be a mid-second round pick.
Yeah, so I just ran 10 right before the show started. I put him at 14 and I got him once. So, I mean, people are taking him in the second round over the Mitchell Q tag. And this is a really good point in the chat from Chip here is you're just going to get infinite swaps to him if Mitchell can't go.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't in my lobbies physically, so I don't know how much he was being taken as a D tag to begin with.
But zero.
Yeah.
Basically zero.
I figured.
Yeah, from what I saw. I mean, there was kind of no reason to on a slate this big, right? But if Paulo's out and D Mitch is out, that's like the easiest swap there. And then Ingram in the 6th round, as Nick brings up here.
Yep.
So
yeah.
There's a lot of
Ingram, a big one. I think Spite is going to let us know though. It went through shoot around, so.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. Let's get right into the slate there and go kind of game by game and whatnot, because that game's very interesting to me because another big spread game. Cavs are playing some really good basketball. Minutes limit has been lifted now post All-Star break on Garland and Mobley. There's only one basketball, right? I don't know where it's going. We're back to this. Who the hell do you play on Cleveland each night scenario? And then if Paulo doesn't go on the other side, we might find ourselves in a very, very similar situation as I just articulated with Sabonis with Donovan Mitchell. Because now all of a sudden, all the starters basically only have to play 30, 32 minutes. They're huge favorites. I mean, we don't project blowouts, but when the spread indicates blowout potential, I could see that one going poorly too.
Yeah, I would love to not have anybody in this game. You kind of have to at a certain point. Everybody has a price, but like Cavs versus Magic, like it's hard to think of a worse matchup for fantasy than those two going at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like that. Nick coming at from another angle. He's pretty mad on it. So like, similar thought. Yeah. The only thing I would say flowchart wise is Suggs missed a couple games and Suggs was getting low-key cooked by guards recently. But that's a recent thing. He's not a guy that you normally think gets cooked, right? Like you'd say like, maybe if guards were having success, it would come at the expense of like Fultz or something like that. But it actually been in recent memory had been in Suggs, but I don't know.
Yeah, even if like Mitchell sits, which I don't think he does, who even gets a bump in the main slate,
I mean it's probably Garland. It's just like he gets a little bit more usage and scoring potential.
He becomes a 6th round pick, it's not like it's anything
right.
And it's not even like 100% of the time.
Yeah, hypothetical scenario, Paulo sits, Spada sits. Do you swap to Franz or do you swap to Garland?
If Paolo and Donovan sit?
Yeah. Which would you swap to?
I think I would probably swap to Franz.
Okay. Yeah. See, I kind of lean in that direction too. That's the framing of the question.
Mm-hmm. Just like less usable pieces on his team. Like I think way more usage funnels to him than it does to Garland, even though obviously two very high usage players that would in both those scenarios, but just the way that my brain kind of thinks about those situations.
Mm-hmm. Last one here, just because Chip brought it up in the chat here. He did take Sabonis once before the D tag at like 6. So like there's this other mindset of like if you just treated him like he was in, where would you rank him? Like Sabonis 100% playing tonight. Does he go 5th in every single draft right behind SGA?
I mean, not anymore, just because of that, like the injury, like if you get him, if he gets a green icon, I just think that there's just this like ADP stickiness that would kind of hold him back. And I think that he would go like after Tatum. I don't think that he cracks the first round, even if he gets the green tag today.
Let's take it all off the table. I'm saying if the slate, he never had the Q, he never had the active, there was never any ADP. Where would you rank him?
4th.
Yeah. So there's the other mindset, like this one with Chip saying this, is like you could get some unique combos that may not exist by taking him 4th with like 1 or 2 drafts and treating him like absolute value. Like at his projection. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, like I said, there is definitely some risk of like if you think that the illness is going to hold him back, but if you think that's the case, then just like if you're in a pick'em state, smash some lowers or something. Otherwise, it's just the Spurs just welcome fantasy points. They're just a black hole for fantasy points. Everybody can get it.
Yeah, it's true. And then this is the other, little wrinkle is like Q tag situation where it's like he does exist in like the 4th and the 5th. So you're not necessarily gaining that much leverage by taking him in the 3rd right now. Even if you get him at like 15 or something.
Yeah, I guess I kind of think like on a slate like this, I don't really care a ton about like, it's like treating it like salary. Like once the slate kicks up, I don't really care where you drafted these guys on a slate this big.
Fair enough.
I got other plays going on.
Yeah, I like it. Cool. Yeah. All right, let's dump into to some of those plays that you like and stuff. I will start with. You want to start ADP or you want to start like games and stuff?
Maybe games.
Okay.
So far though, I've done 60. Nope, not close. 36 drafts across like, the main, the buzzer beater, etc. And we really like the Pistons and the Pacers. Who, very original thoughts here. Hey, this game could score 250 points. I don't know. Let's take 2 of the high usage guys. So I've got a ton of Cade Cunningham, 60% Cade and 40% Halliburton at this very point.
Okay, let's start with that game then. Interesting one. No Naismith on the Pacers side. Pistons have a bunch of new faces. They're gonna get Beef Stew back, but then they have, I don't know if Fontecchio starts, but they have Fontecchio listed in here. It's very interesting. The reason I want to start with like the game as an overarching is everyone's playing, or not everyone, but let's say you and I right now, I'm playing this game through Cade. I really like Cade. I saw Nick's exposures earlier. He really likes Cade. You like Cade. Like if this game plays to this total, it doesn't necessarily have to run through Cade, right? Have we been getting Ivy in the 6th? Have we not been like going far enough with this? Because it's basically Hallie, Siakam, and Cade who go every single draft, and that's all that anyone's playing from this game. Like, why can't it be Miles Turner in the 5th and Jaden Ivey in the 6th? Like, why can't we get to this game in a slightly different path?
I have like a special extension in my browser that doesn't allow me to draft Miles Turner, so you can do that. I don't do that. I don't draft Miles Turner. Ivy, I think people might get scared when they see Ivy's box score. Like myself. I mean, the last game, I don't know if he got hurt last game, but that last game against maybe that last game against the Suns was just an overall disaster in general. But I don't know if the ceiling's going to be there on a slate this size for Ivy. Ivy's like a fun, like Ivy's nice because it's like sneaky good floor, and like you got to wait on the right slate to smash Ivy, in my opinion.
Okay.
Duran, though, I think you can definitely do a little Duran in the 6th. I think he, rent free in my head in that double overtime game or whatever it was. But I think Duran can get you, 40 tonight in the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have so much more confidence in Cade. But Siakam on the Pacer side of this, like definitely in draft territory. But Siakam is another one that just burns you more than he gets you there. It seems like.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Any hesitation that this is also another one of those? We alluded to the narrative with the other 2 games, big spreads and whatnot. Is there any like chance that like, okay, Hallie's back. We did full All-Star weekend. We did whatever. Let's slowly get him in here, opposed to ramping him back to full minutes like right away, kind of thing. They go, hey, we're 12-point favorites.
Not how I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a little more potential than people are giving it credit right now that Hallie doesn't play like 35 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he just played 34, 34, and 30.
Yep. Mine's purely about who they're facing and what's going on.
Yeah, it's fair, but I'm all in on Halliburton today. So I mean, like I hear you for sure. Like I see the caution flags, but I'm still full speed ahead on Halliburton.
Okay. Yeah, in a vacuum, today feels like a day where I like really like pairing narratives together. So if I'm gonna play Hallie, I'll play like, hey, this game's gonna be tighter than this is indicating, and he's gonna play 38 minutes. Let me grab Cade on the other side. You know what I mean? Like those two positively correlate. Or I'll grab like, let me add Miles Turner to this because they just blow the doors off and it runs through that, opposed to like just being like, I have one off Hallie 40% of the time.
Yeah, I'm like a little too bullish on Cade, I think, but I do take him a lot like in the 5th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just to
really good.
Just to get a little, 6-round pairings where other people I think are waiting. With 60% Cade, it obviously kind of implies that. But no, I'd rather get Cade and pair him with somebody else and try to get some uniqueness going on.
Okay, cool. The Orlando and the Cavs one, we kind of touched on it. I mean, it's really hard to have a lean on either of these players in Paulo and Mitchell to play today because they're both illness tags. I don't know if it's post All-Star break Indiana flu going around here or something. The boys were just out partying after the All-Star game and stuff like that, because it seems like, Sabonis, All-Star game guy, illness tag. Donovan Mitchell, All-Star game guy, illness tag. Paulo, illness tag, All-Star game guy. Like it seems a little too convenient here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something going on in the Indiana air.
Yeah, but in general, I think we're kind of both in lockstep that we're not trying to get over on this game. And some 6th round Mobley, some 6th round Allen or Garland feels fine. Garland's going to shoot up if Mitchell's out, and then Franz as a swap for Paulo. That's kind of it in that game.
Yep. Yeah, I think Mobley is like the 3rd most interesting piece here. But okay, if Mitchell sits, Garland becomes interesting, but definitely looking forward to no minutes restriction Mobley.
Yeah, I like that shout a lot. Let's go Brooklyn and the Raptors. Nets have a new coach. We have no idea what that will do to the rotation. Vaughn was fired over the break there. Austin Ollie, I believe. Yeah, that's the new coach. Yeah, that's my hand on the court there. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's like old UConn guy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. That's I don't quote me on any of that shit.
Kevin Ollie.
Kevin Ollie nailed it.
There you go. Do an Ollie.
Yeah, man. Dude, I can still Ollie for sure. I can still kick. I can still kick flip too for sure.
Yeah, you're like pseudo like California boy, Vancouver. You got some of that coolness.
I went through like a full like phase in life where I could skate pretty good. And then middle of COVID, I bought a board again and like got it all set up because I had nothing to do. And I was like, oh, I still want to get some exercise and whatever. And I just went out skating again.
Did it work?
Yeah, man. I put some videos on the Instagram. Like I never post on Instagram, but I put some videos on there. You could see me doing some 50-50 grinds with a shove it out. You can see me doing a kick flip. I did a tray flip still.
Yeah. The only thing I can do is do a little nose manual.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You ever like put the cheat codes in on Tony Hawk and then you just like hit the nose manual and then just like go in the kitchen and then just
dude, I loved Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk, what was your Tony Hawk? Like which
3.
one? Dude, same. 100%. In the airport? Airport slapped. Yeah.
Had to be.
Dude. Okay, what was your console of choice for Tony Hawk 3?
I mean, it was N64.
Oh, okay. Mine was GameCube.
Wait, I think it was on N64.
It was on both.
I was always a console behind. So I'm like, I'm gonna sound like such a broke boy, but humble beginnings.
Humble upbringings, love to see it. Yeah, mine was that. I mean, that had a killer soundtrack too. Like, I'll still listen to like Exhibit Paparazzi. Such an underrated song. I used to play that one all the time on repeat there.
Yeah, it's good shit, man.
I mean, this is the chalk. The chalk is Intrius saying Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Like, that's the chalk. I played school and I did the Leap of Faith over and over again on like Dreamcast, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, or PlayStation. Like, that's the chalk. I mean, we were a generation next up.
Yeah, it might have been. I definitely played a little too as well, but
yeah, for sure. I'm not writing it off. But actually, Tony Hawk Pro Skater Underground too, because they had a Vancouver level, and it was like, you'd be like the epitome of Leonardo DiCaprio meme, like pointing at like the spots on your TV that you.
Yeah, that's always the best.
Oh man! All right, Raptors Nets. I mean, Scotty Barnes is gonna pop in the projections every day. Never Scotty until it's Scotty day. Scotty Bowlway, my friend.
That's right.
I'll take him when he falls to 14. Other than that, I'm not really making him a priority. And the Nets side, I mean, I've been doing a little mix and match in the 6th round. If we see some expanded Ben Simmons minutes, could be legit. I just have no idea what this rotation is going to look like, but at least it's a tight game in terms of spread, and the total looks kind of decent here. So I could see, 6th round Cam Thomas being like the 50 burger you need if he plays like 35, 38 minutes under new coach. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
A lot of this range that he goes in is like pretty concentrated as far as range of outcomes. It really looks like. Yeah, it's tough because with this new Brooklyn coach, like what kind of we really don't know what kind of offense they're gonna run. Like what there's a lot of wide range of outcomes here with this team, but yeah, I'm not running to the podium for my boy Scotty either today. Right. It's a bummer, but because it kind of does feel like a good spot, but
it feels like we should have more interest in this game than we do. And I feel like if we knew the rotation of the Nets, I feel like Bridges would go like not every 6th round, but would go like a lot.
Right, because I like to talk. We like our Raptors. We like our Raptors games here. So
yeah,
Mikhail would usually. I mean, he's getting drafted for sure, but probably mostly by the ETR bros.
Yeah, always popping. All right, cool. Anything else you want to say? Anyone else you're getting to in that game?
Dude, I mean, I could flirt with a little 6th round RJ.
Okay. I think I'll go to the other side. I'll go to the net stuff before I go that. Okay. Like, I'd rather take a shot on the Ben Simmons minute lifting and him playing alongside Claxton.
Yeah. Yeah, always a fun possibility if we get full bore Ben. He's going to be a fantasy point monster.
Mm-hmm. Knicks and Sixers. Sixers getting some bodies back, but not the ones that matter. They got Kyle Lowry in the picture now, who's going to probably play that backup point run, which could cut Maxey like a little bit just in terms of like managing his minutes better than it has been. They have Buddy Hield and Kelly Oubre starting. I think there's a chance Batum starts, and then they have to make a decision between Oubre and Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield was playing some good ball before the All-Star break. I don't think it's going to continue here because I think the minutes are low key going to get cut with more bodies coming in. So I wouldn't be touching him in the 6th round. And then Nick's side, I don't know, like Hartenstein, this would feel like a really good spot if we knew he was going to be playing 32. I don't know that that's going to happen because it's just first coming back. And everybody else just kind of looks like these aren't the Knicks we were getting pre All-Star break where we could get like 42 minutes from Precious or 40 minutes from Dante. Like it just doesn't feel that fun to click now that they have more healthy bodies.
Yeah. I thought this total would be higher for sure. 228. I expected it to be a good deal higher.
I think it's just because the Knicks play so damn slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make sense. But for me, yeah, it's just like Brunson and probably nobody else on the Knicks side. I don't draft DiVincenzo today, or I have not drafted DiVincenzo today, so I don't even know if he's like going in the top 36. I would kind of guess not. No, it doesn't look like
he's like fringe guy, like 35 and a bit, something like that. I saw him go one time. He's 35.8. I seen him go one time.
I think Tobias Harris could get it for me in the 6th.
Okay. Yeah, that one feels good. Like he's most likely back tonight or 100% back tonight.
Yeah, he's got the green light.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So, and of course Maxey as well. I think Maxey's in a pretty good spot.
Okay. Yeah, so Maxey at ADP, Brunson at ADP, Tobias in the 6th for you.
Yep. Yeah, that's my player pool from this game.
Okay. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it feels comfy. I'd really like to be able to get to Hartenstein in the 6th or something like that because I do feel like it's good. But just like coming back from, multiple games off and that sort of thing, I just doesn't feel great.
No.
Okay. Next game is low key in contention for game of the night with Mavs Suns here. I think we could see some big starters minutes here in this game. And this could be like low key played like a playoff game in my mind. Just in terms of like what they would do. There is no one more disinterested in the All-Star game other than Luka there. For anyone who watched any portion of the All-Star game, Luka and Joker just out there. They're probably boozing it up on the sidelines or something. They didn't give a shit. That was pretty funny to watch. But maybe no Bradley Beal tonight. It's like it's not the face thing. It was, let me find the official designation here. I think it was a hamstring.
Okay.
Left hamstring tightness. So Bradley Beal, a legit threat to miss. But it is front and back to back. They play at Houston tomorrow night, and tonight is nationally televised. So do with that knowledge what you will. I'm playing it as if Beal sits because, he just had a bunch of days off, and now you're still concerned about tightness in a hamstring. Like that's a little scary, and rest him for, maybe not even tomorrow, just rest him for a bit kind of thing.
Yeah, that was sort of the vibe that I was getting on that situation as well, which, even if he plays, Durant and Booker are still awesome clicks today. Very excited about KD and Book tonight against my Mavericks. So and same goes for Luka and Kyrie on the other side. This should be cinema.
I think out of like the first 2 rounds, if I could just pinpoint the guys who are absolutely safest for big minutes tonight, it would be those 4 guys. And that really intrigues me.
Yeah.
Because Fox, we now throw the wrench in of the Sabonis situation. Tatum, Celtics can go multiple ways any night, but like they're going to be big favorites against the Bulls. Big favorites for Joker, we haven't talked about yet, but they're going to be like 12-point favorites there. Like if you want to look at like a close game environment with a high total, I think this one's going to be good for both our fantasy game and good for watching.
100%. I'm glad they're on Natty TV because I can't watch them unless they're on Natty TV. So
yeah, the stupid local blackout restrictions.
Absolute trash.
That shit's so fucking archaic, man. It's so archaic.
Makes no sense.
Oh, yeah, it's like, no, you can't watch at home because you won't go to the game then. It's like, buddy, I wasn't gonna go to the game on a random Thursday night anyways when I can't make it out there in time. Like,
Yeah,
I'll pick and choose the games I'm gonna go to. It's not gonna incentivize me to go.
it's such obvious BS.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that here. Um, yeah. Anyone else that you're willing to get to in this game environment? Can we do 6 round Nurk? Can we do? I mean, Gafford had a really big performance against Washington, granted, but like 2 times out though. But Lively might be back and cut into his minutes there. PJ Washington could play big minutes tonight, but he might not be an offensive, focal point.
Yeah, I think maybe you could maybe do Nurk because the rotations for the big guys on Dallas, I think can get exploited.
Okay.
So Nurk in the 6 is like not every time, but it's definitely in consideration for me.
All right. I like it. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun basketball game to watch. Like that a lot. Rockets, Pels are Pels, as we like to say. We got Fred VanVleet coming back for the Rockets on the left-hand side there. And then we got a questionable tag on BI and no designation on Zion for the first time in forever. He was been listed with that left foot over and over again. And this is front and back to back for the Pels. They're at home again tomorrow night against Miami. Could be a potential indication the fact that there's no Q on Zion, but there's a Q on BI that, hey, he rests the front end of the back to back, and then we see what happens with Zion tonight. And if he's good to go tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. That's narrative base and bro science, but how are you treating it, Nez?
But BI, I think, is a pretty fun 36 overall pick where you get the swap if he doesn't go, and then you can, get that extra pick in there. I think that's a lot of fun, and that kind of makes him like a pretty damn good pick because I'm playing as though he sits, and if he does sit, that's an advantage to be able to wait for more news to make that final swap. Like Zion a good bit today. CJ, I haven't clicked on, but probably fine in the 6th round. And then for Houston, man, it's just Şengün for me. Fred VanVleet is not doing a whole lot for us fantasy wise. I mean, dude, have you seen his PRA projections like these last like few weeks when he has played and today?
I haven't seen today yet. I'd say today, grain of salt, because I'd expect lesser minutes. Like he did miss a good chunk of time. Like he missed like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So like today wouldn't surprise me, but what was it in the past?
It's been like under 30.
Wow.
It's 24 and a half today.
That's crazy low.
Yeah, man. So you can't take him today, obviously.
Yeah, that's unplayable for us. Low-key, Jalen Green been seeing his minutes a little bit cut and them going with some other bodies. I think there's a non-zero chance that, Thompson plays over him kind of thing. It's just really messy behind Şengün. But
they got a lot of bodies. They're pretty fun in real life, but for fantasy, yeah, outside of Şengün, there's just too much going on.
Yeah. I would say that having Fred VanVleet back, though, is much better for Şengün because Şengün had like 2 games there pre-All-Star break. Granted, one was with the Q tag, and then he played through. But like he had 2 games that weren't what we were accustomed to seeing from him this year. Like we're talking 38, 40 fantasy points, didn't pay off, 2nd and 3rd round value when you thought we were getting a discount those days. I'd say Fred VanVleet's way better for him, like just in general.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Yeah. Ball handling, distributing, and not just like hunting shots. Whereas like, Jalen was doing more of that. And then less Thompson on the floor. Like Thompson was low-key getting rebounds. So was Whitmore. So like,
yeah, those 2 are fun.
Yeah. When Fred's on the floor instead of those guys, I think there's more opportunity for the rebounds to go Goon's way too.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing.
All right, cool. Celtics Bulls been taking Tatum and Zinger on the one side and been taking a little bit of Vooch and DeRozan on the other, but not a ton of other stuff like that. Caruso, a tough matchup for Tatum, which is, it's not scary. It's fucking Jason Tatum. I think there's a non-zero chance that they play big against the Celts today and we get some extended Drummond run. but maybe that's just my fantasy brain wish casting it upon. But Tillman most likely available to play. I don't know, man. Like I think they got to start playing Drummond and Vooch alongside each other, especially in these kind of like bigger spots.
I think it's worth a shot. I just love that we're just like we call it like every time the Bulls play now.
They did it twice, and it's like, come on, just keep doing it.
Yeah, this is. I mean, dude, how it's hard to get much more frustrating than Magic Cavs and Bulls Celtics. Like,
right. Yeah.
Some awful games for us fantasy. Just 4 teams, all at least that they're all concentrated in 2 matchups where like they're not like infecting like a quarter of the slate. It's just like 2 games that are gonna piss me off instead of
the
4.
Infectious disease that is picking between Bulls stars in slow-paced games every night.
Jesus Christ, man! Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, Celtics, man. I think Brown is draftable, and Porzingis obviously as well, along with Tatum. It's frustrating, but gotta take him.
Contest was so brutal.
Which one?
Dunk contest in general was so brutal, but Jaylen Brown he did not have a good dunk contest.
They need to like give the dunk contest the like World Cup Olympics like time treatment where we only do the dunk contest every 4 years. Like we need a break. Give people time to get creative, and like every 4 years, like now we embrace it and we like it more. Because it's boring as hell.
Are they running out of ideas, or has it become like too gimmicky? Like it's become like, jumping over. I think it kind of started with like the Blake Griffin era of like jumping over the Kia, where it was kind of like from that point on, it's been like so gimmicky. Like who can you bring in? How can you hype it? How can you do social? Who can sponsor a dunk that will give you some street cred? Like I think it's gone too far that route, right?
Did you know who Kai Cenat was before the dunk contest, John?
No, no chance.
He's doing what we do to an audience of like 100x.
I saw him once on the featured page of Twitch when I went over there.
Oh, he's on there every day.
Dude, I listened to him for like 5 minutes and I was like, how the fuck and why the fuck do people watch this? Like, I just didn't get it. I don't know. I didn't find him funny or entertaining. I didn't give him much time, but he was playing like Last of Us or something like that. And
yeah,
I played that game and watched that show. So I was like, oh, this must be pretty cool. He must be like really good at the game. And just wasn't.
Hey, people don't watch us because we're good at the games.
That's so good. Yeah, I just didn't get it.
I knew you didn't. I love whenever when you get exposed to something pop culture, and I'm like, let's see if John knew who this was. But now look at you. Now you know who Kai Cenat is, and now you can say sincerely, not for me. Not for me.
Not for me. Not for me. Oh man. Another circle your calendar game. This could be another really good basketball game. We got Clippers Thunder up there. Chet goes in the back end of like every draft. SGA obviously in the top 4 picks, and then 3 guys from the Clippers. Is there anyone outside of this that you're looking to get to? Gordon Hayward not going to be in our player pool, but could affect the rotation of some of the auxiliary guys making his Thunder debut tonight.
Man, I don't even take Chet that much to be honest.
Yeah,
I think like Jalen Williams for like a fraction of the ownership, for lack of a better term, is probably a better pick than Chet in this game. This should be awesome. This is 2 Western Conference juggernauts going at it. I do wonder if this total is a smidgen high. I swear, man, lately these Thunder games have been playing way under their total, like way under, and I don't really know why. So I'm like a little cautious on that. And the Clippers are just a good team in general. So I'm excited for this game in real life. I'll be honest, I am not like super confident that this game goes over its total, but like, I'm wrong on this shit all the time. But there's so many draftable pieces here.
Do you prefer Wemby or SGA at 4?
Wemby.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, dude, Shea is so damn good, but like, Wemby against the Kings seems like one of those spots, man. You know.
Okay. To your point about totals and whatever, the last 5 of the last 7 games they have won. One of those games went to double overtime and they put up 135 against the Raptors. But versus the Kings, 127 in a win. That's versus the Kings. That's pretty low versus the Kings. Orlando, 127. 111 versus Dallas. That's really low. When Dallas put up 146. 117 against Utah. 126 against Charlotte. 105 against Denver. 101 against Minnesota, which is So
it's
to your point there though, like those aren't the gaudy numbers we were seeing earlier from the Thunder this year when everybody was making SGA MVP cases.
Yeah. So maybe it's just a little too noisy for me to actually give a shit about, but obviously, we're drafting Kawhi, Paul George, maybe Paul George and Harden tonight for sure.
Yeah, and Nick alluding to the fact that there's just so much revenge in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could go as deep as Russell Westbrook with the revenge there.
Shea with the little revenge.
Oh yeah, you don't think Shea wants to defend home court versus the team that traded him away for all these guys? And like, hey, look at us, we're at the top of the West now, right beside you guys. Like that's come on, Shea's got that dog in him.
Have you seen? There's a video going viral regarding Lindy Waters.
Ow. No.
Oh, dude, it's really sad. I hope it's not real. It's one of those street interviews where a guy's like talking to a couple, and they're talking about. It sucks that I kind of like spoiled the joke. Talking about hall passes, and he's like, "Nah, I don't think I would ever do one." She's like, "Oh, I think maybe. Like, I think I could do it." He's like, "Oh, okay. Like this. Let's hear it." Like, and the boyfriend's a little annoyed that she was like so open. He's like, "Who would your hall pass be?" And she goes, "Lindy Waters the third." And he's like, I don't even know who that is. Like, Lindy Waters? There's no way that there's no way it's real, but that is just so. I'll tell you what, man.
That's a funny ass
video. It's a funny ass video, and like I don't see that white boy being an actor, man. I don't know. I think he was a little pissed in real life.
The problem with that is like it's so niche of a hall pass that it's like obtainable. So it's like
that's why he was. Yeah, that's why everybody's like, "Oh, buddy, like she definitely smashed Lindy."
Like 100%.
That's why it was like going viral. Just like, oh no, like not the two-way NBA player.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, those things are all fake offer prices. So
that was damn good. It was damn good.
Funny.
The point is it was a good video. I don't really care if it was fake or not.
Oh man, that's good. Mr. TD saying that the SGA, everybody else wanted out. It's true. Like these revenge narratives, they don't mean shit. They're just fun to talk about. But SGA, he wants to put on a show.
Oh, absolutely.
Jazz Hornets, a game that I'd really like to get excited about, but I can't really find myself taking a ton of anything. We see expanded rotation for the Hornets since the trade deadline there. Low-key got my third eye open, Nez, that Grant Williams sees extended minutes. Not sure it matters against Walker Kessler and that sort of thing. Keontae George, our guy, he's maybe he's more your guy, but he's been starting.
You can claim him.
And I like to claim him by proxy, right?
Yeah, there you go.
He's been starting, man, and I don't see that stopping. We could get high 30s, maybe even touch 40 minutes from him in a good flowchart spot here. This one's really muddled for me, and I think Miles Bridges, low key, he's going a little too high for my liking. And same with Laurie, but I could see myself getting to some 6th round, just one-off pieces like, hey, let me just take a shot on George in this lineup or something.
Oof. I mean, maybe in a full court press, maybe that would be fun.
Right.
I do take Miles Bridges, but I agree. I think he's a little overdrafted, and you could probably say the same for Laurie Markkinen as well, like you can almost every slate.
Yep.
this is an interesting one where, like last season, this would be super fun spot for us to be going in on. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Would you do Brandon Miller in the 6th though?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think he's low key getting cut a little bit too by some of these bodies. Like it just like the reason we were clicking Hornets before is because they were fun, high tempo game environment plays, and there was going to be lots of minutes and projectable minutes to go around. Now I just don't know what's going to happen. Like Trey Mann has taken so much ball handling on this team, and like he's really hard to click. But like every single night, dude, that guy's just getting assists and rebounds. Like I don't know. Like it just feels like the ball handling that we were when we were aping in on Miller and Bridges like 2.5 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It's like, look at this. They have to play 40 minutes no matter what, or they have to play high 30s no matter what, and they're going to have all this touch time. Now it feels like the touch time has kind of dissipated for these guys, and the only way Brandon Miller gets home is if he just fills it up and gets super hot.
Yeah, well said. It's definitely like good for the team, bad for us for fantasy.
Right.
The Trey Mann arrival, or the trade, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Man, I just want Walker Kessler to keep playing minutes, man. He's gonna matter soon. He's gonna break a slate for us one of these damn days.
I'm with you.
All right, we got Nuggets and Wizards here. Game at altitude. The other one, Utah one's at altitude too, just for what it means in terms of rest spots. But 15-point home favorites. I mean, Joker centers against this matchup look insane. There's been some coach speak about potential rest down the stretch for Nuggets guys because they like the possibility of getting guys rested more so than winning the 1 seed. That's just narrative based that people have been talking or I've been reading on the timeline there. Denny Avdia, shout out to our guy Chip, told me to draft him in the 6th. Absolutely fucked it up and misclicked and took somebody else, and that would have mattered. But he can't miss right now, man. He cannot miss. Not sure what's going to happen in terms of people I can get to from the Wizards side, though, in this game.
I kind of like Kuzma. I think he's maybe viable in this 6th round. Definitely in the full court press. He's part of my player pool for sure. I'm trying not to like gal brain these blowouts at least today. So like no fear in taking Jokic 102. Jamal Murray, I'm taking a lot of Jamal Murray as well. And then on the Wizards side, man, like it's just Kuzma or bust. I'm not doing Denny today, but he has a higher ADP than Kuzma, which is okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean it's just box score watching and recency. The thing about like Danny is like he's been filling up, but like dude hasn't missed, man. Like it's eerily. Who's the good comp that was earlier in the year? Oh shit, I just blanked on the dude's name. There was someone early this year that like he literally had not missed. Exum, Dante Exum.
Oh yeah.
Exum didn't miss for like 3 games. And you just saw his ADP push up, and then you could go like, okay, he's starting. They're missing guys behind him. Like the narrative's the same with the Wizards, where it's like, okay, he's starting. They traded away some bodies. DeLon Wright's gone. Like this all makes sense. But then as soon as the shot stops falling, well, the wheels fall off, and he scores you 28 fantasy points, right? So it's very that would be my comp for what he's doing production wise right now.
Yeah, he needs an injury to somebody else to step up and be useful for us.
Okay.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's playing really good ball recently. Nuggets side, Jamal in the 4th. Joker, you said no fear. Anyone else? I think KCP will have a minutes limit tonight for what it's worth. But yeah, any way you're getting to like Porter or Gordon or anything.
In the full court press, I think you can definitely get to him.
Okay. Sounds good.
Not in the main.
What about some Galbrain blowout run, Reggie Jackson, 28 minutes in the full court press, baby?
I just don't think you have to do it tonight, but that sounds fun.
Okay. Lakers Warriors next up. No LeBron tonight. The LeBron Q tag immediately following the All-Star game was one of the funniest shit I'd ever seen. The All-Star game ended and it was like LeBron Q immediately was tweeted out. That was pretty funny. Interesting stuff here for the Lakers. Not sure what they'll do rotation wise because they tend to play really big, like just in general. And I don't think they have to. And they'll probably run 3-guard lineups versus the Warriors. Makes D'Angelo Russell in the 6th round like a pretty easy click. Not one that I love. Rui had a really nice game. The last game before the All-Star break there. Could see some extended minutes playing like alongside AD and then picking up some 5-run when AD's off. But I really like, just in general, just really like AD tonight. And I'm fine with Russell in the last round. And then the Warriors side for me is always just leave it. Like take it or leave it, man. Like it's a little bit of Steph here and there and a little bit of Kuminga and that's it.
Yeah, Curry's being drafted a little too high for my liking.
Yeah.
But D'Angelo Russell tonight though. I really like D'Angelo Russell tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Reeves, maybe a little Reeves in the 6 too.
Yeah, that was our guy. That guy was our printing press in the playoff contest from last year.
Yeah, man.
Nobody gave that usage flippening enough credit.
I like him tonight too. I'll mix him and Russell up in the 6th a good bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and then on the Warrior side, like Steph is not undraftable for me, but I mean, I like Brunson so much more than him tonight. So
okay. Yeah, I like that. What about like just going one layer deeper with Dinwiddie full court press? Like I think there's a real chance they run these 3-guard lineups, and then Julian saying in the chat exactly where my brain was going is if Reddish and Christie sit, like they can't really play Jackson Hayes and Davis together. Like where do all these minutes go? Like you're going to get those 3-guard lineups, right? You're going to get maybe Rui at the 5. You're going to get, I don't know, maybe full court press Rui, full court press Reeves, full court press Dinwiddie. Like we're on a slate where we're really struggling to like open our third eye and find usage for guys because basically like, you know, normally there's like there's minutes opening up or shorter rotations on slates, especially 12 gamers. Tonight, like with everybody back after All-Star game and only illness Q tags, basically, it's not really clear where else we're going to find quote unquote value in quotations.
I just have a lot of trouble getting him in the top 60. Spencer, that is. But
yeah, what about Rui?
Like I think I would go Rui before Dinwiddie, but I don't even want to do Rui tonight in the full court press.
Okay. Entirely fair. Anything else you want to say about the Warriors side? Clay's coming off the bench now. Clay had a really nice game last time out.
Because of course he did, right? Because of course he did. I really don't want fuck that whole slate, man. That was unbelievable. That's actually unbelievable. His best fantasy production of the year off the bench. That dude can fuck right off. Unbelievable. I would have never
really interested to see where Clay ends up next year.
It will be interesting. You're right. It will be interesting. Not in my lineups. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, same. Oh, man. All right. Kings Spurs to close it out here. 10.5. Let me refresh this and see if that updated with some Sabonis news. They still have it at 10.5. Okay. But we had the Sabonis conversation at the front there, kind of talked about where we wanted to take him now, kind of like that 13, 14 range. If you want to get over the field on him, you're probably going to have to take him higher at like 8 or 7 once the hashtag models update and people see that he is 0.8 fractions of a fantasy point higher than so-and-so, they'll alter their ranks to mirror those and move him up to 7 or 8. And I could see him getting above Tatum. I don't know. I think I'm kind of in a spot here where I got a full faith bonus now.
I just don't think he'll crack that top 8 where like you can take him 10 and like that's good. That's pretty good for this game here. I mean, Sabonis has been playing some inspired ball lately, man. Just like a walking triple double for a while.
Yeah, there you go. ETR has him at 4. There you go. Yeah.
The one guy that, you know, I have my types, right? I like to target the Raptors. I like to target the Pelicans. I also like myself a little Devin Vassell.
Okay, yeah, you love Vassell.
Not a bad little range today. You know, he's projected for like 2 less fantasy points than Mikal Bridges and 3 less than Cade and Duran if you're looking at ETR. So he's playable, and this is a big total. So I think Vassell is definitely doable in the 6th, assuming that some of these other guys fail and he gets you like 40 fantasy points. I think that's really what you want.
Love it, man. If that game somehow stays close and he gets over that 31 or 27, I mean, he's got the handling. Let's do it.
He's fun, man.
Let's hop in.
Let's go.
Let's start with the regular one. Maybe we work our way to the full court press tonight. Do a couple of these and then do a full court press or something.
All right. I need to do way more of these.
I was doing Joker over Luka a couple times early. Just
wow!
Like such a smash spot. I think I don't know. It was crazy talk. Maybe I don't know if I agree with it.
I mean, we like those bigs against the Wiz, but dude, that's some big time stones there.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how
nobody likes Halliburton as much as I do tonight. So I think I need to maybe reel back that bullishness a little bit.
Did you get that bullishness from Most Stastic?
No, actually. Or you mean the bear? You mean like the bearishness?
No, they're so far ahead on Hallie every effing night, and then they don't update the model until like before lock, and it just sits there for like 5 hours. So when people drag and drop from there, he's always at 5.
I'm gonna check them out right now. I didn't do like a sheet or anything like that.
This is AD for me. I really like AD. I honestly think AD tonight you could take him over like Joker or Luka. Like I think this is like a 3-man tier tonight, and it's really hard to say that usually.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, they got Halliburton. Stochastic does it 47 and 45 on ETR.
Yeah. And I mean, like that difference of 2 points in projection, which is so insane, but in our game that translates to like 8 spots in ADP or like 7 spots in ADP. It's just like, it's so,
which makes you wonder, like, should it?
Never, right? Like it should never. Yeah. No, it's people don't know how to play. That's why we're learning together.
Mm-hmm. Like it really should.
There you go. Sabonis goes at 8 there. Is Fox too high now? Should we think about the Booker game? Do you like Brunson more than it?
Booker against the Mavericks is a great spot.
Yeah, and don't be flipped off by that box score there. He got ejected last time.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. 30% Booker during that. No.
Speaking of not knowing how to play,
Jesus, man.
You didn't put that in your model, Nez?
I should have. That he was gonna. He didn't even flip. Like people thought that he gave the ref the bird. He didn't even do anything.
He didn't do anything.
He just like bad. I think he might have like was talking about the ref in third person or something, and such bullshit, man. It's absolute bullshit. Like not even just for me. just like in general for the game of basketball. Like, how are you allowing that?
Yeah. All right. If you look at the hashtag models, I think they will push up Barnes over Kyrie tonight, or it'll be like really close. I like Kyrie here.
Yes. Let's game stack.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of like a tier break like in people's minds from the Booker Kyrie. I'll pull it up here. Kind of like basically where Fox goes here, or you could even go as high as Booker. Like there's kind of like a little tier here that ends with Maxey and then it starts again.
Yes,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
Maybe Şengün belongs, ahead of Kawhi, but
this shimmy start here, like that the robots have, I did call it like 10 hand drafts and I rolled the 6 spot like 3 or 4 times. It happens over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like that 4-person start just happens every effing time.
Really?
Yeah, every time. We get the Miles Bridges here if we want to make that decision. We could do Jamal, Paulo, Siakam from that game environment. What do you like?
I think Miles Bridges.
Okay, you think Bridges is in a tier above these guys?
In this range, yeah. I think I would do Bridges against the Jazz there. That feels pretty good.
Okay. Copper saying he's excited to see the robots in action. So we're drafting versus the auto draft.
God, dude. That's Copper's good. Been hot. He's had some really nice nights in hoops lately.
Love it.
Yeah,
Ricky, it's always worth drafting. Always be drafting. We've had this conversation like a bajillion times on these days where like Q tags and stuff like this happens, and it rarely matters. It rarely.
Mm-hmm. It's true though. Like super teams are much scarier on paper than in real life.
Yes, sir. Cade.
Yep.
Or D'Lo with AD.
I think Cade, man. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm just saying fuck it and I'm loading up on Cade today. You know, like what else is a boy to do whenever Cade plays the Pacers? I have no choice. Okay, so J-Dub, I didn't think he was going to go.
These are so condensed tonight. Like, it's crazy that the larger the slate we get, the more condensed we get in ownership. It just doesn't make sense. D'Lo?
For me, D'Lo, yeah.
You're on the clock. You're buzzing like crazy.
I know.
Yeah, D'Lo or scroll somewhere else.
D'Lo or Mobley?
Yeah, let's do D'Lo because I think it pairs well with the 80 thesis.
Yeah, that game could just be really fun.
Man, we got to scroll. Guys, this is the lesson. We got to scroll. Ownership's coming into the same 32 players over and over again.
Vassal's ADP is 36.0. Nobody wants anything to do with him tonight.
Yeah. Let's take him in the 5th round.
Scroll twice?
Yeah.
God, that Keontae George masterclass was that Natty TV against the Warriors?
I don't remember. I don't think it was. They never put Utah on Natty TV.
Yeah, I should have known.
They never put the Magic on Natty TV till last time out either. I guess it was Wednesday of last week.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah. Okay, let's have this conversation. Ricky's asking, like, in raw points, how do you beat a Sabonis in the 5th round? If Sabonis plays full minutes tonight, if Sabonis goes and puts up an 80 burger, like, you just don't. You don't, right? Like, but the way you beat it is by doing things that nobody else is doing, right?
The way I think about it,
mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, people flop all the time. You know, like it's not, especially on these big slates, like 4th round picks outscore 1st round picks like frequently. You know, it's just, the thing is it's just like not a guarantee. Like you still, regardless, man. We can do Shea, but I think Wemby has a real case.
A Canadian kid.
Like the fact of the matter is that you still have to be so perfect in these in these drafts. You gotta like, if you don't have, like, sure, you got Sabonis in the 5th. Well, you better have nailed the 6th round pick, or you got Sabonis in the 6th. Well, your 5th round pick better have been perfect, because you still have to get everything else right. You know, not even talking about your 1st through 4th. Like, unless you have like 100 Sabonis teams that are in that range, like, you still, I don't know, man. I just stopped caring, for better or worse, about these super teams, because winning hoops is really, really hard. It's really hard. Yeah. It doesn't even matter if you have that secret piece. You need like 20 teams of that piece, just to like if you have just one Sabonis team in the 5th, like, that's cool. Count your Sklanskys. That lineup's probably worth like $8.
Right. Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. USD.
USD. All right, we come back to this exact same range where the exact same decision gets made again, because the same patterns are repeating themselves. So how do we get different here? Nope, we can take Sabonis. You want to take Sabonis at 9 over this tier?
That or Booker or Brunson, like.
All right, let's take Sabonis then.
Like, that still feels really good.
It does. I mean, how often can you pair Sabonis and SGA together?
Not a lot. 324K. How
John, we'll do Dinger tomorrow. We're not going to fire Dinger today. We're just going to do hoops today.
Yeah, we got plenty of time for the baseball streets, but I love to see the thirst for it. Did you have a good hoops or puck? Some good puck slates while we were away?
Dude, puck was so fun. Like, it's so reminiscent of baseball, right? Where it's like last night, like, what do you need? Well, you need like the scroll the F down at a Jackets versus Ducks game that goes 7-4. Like, it's so reminiscent. It really made me crave MLB again.
Can't wait.
Scotty B, or do we not? Let's flip this around. Let's take Sengun.
Okay.
Fuck Scotty Barnes. I'm out on him. Bull
way. Come on now.
Did you see the tweet that was trending about him in the All-Star break?
Which one? About
Scotty
the mom?
Barnes? Yeah, like some guy's mom like texts him.
Scotty Barnes is unusual? Question mark.
He looks unusual.
Why does he act like that?
Oh man. Oh, Nick's back in on Scotty. We got to get back. Yeah, GA talking about, man, last night, maybe game of the year last night in Boston versus Edmonton to close it out there. It was like 3-1 or 4-2 for the Bruins, and then Oilers came all the way back, and then it was 5-5, and then they went to overtime, and it was 6-5 in overtime after, the Oilers had a power play, and Draisaitl had a really sick chance, and it was, oh man, it was great.
Damn, I can't believe I had cash. Game. I had like I had Pasternak and McAvoy in my lineup last night. Didn't cash shit.
No, they mattered, but they didn't matter. They both had such disgusting toe drags in overtime too. One that they scored on and one that Pasta Oma scored on. Let's take Zion. Let's play the narrative. We're playing. Zion gets a little more ball handling. Assists are up. He's playing. He's playing a little bit more of like that point Zion role. And I think Zion might be like the one guy who's mispriced enough that if BI doesn't play, would vault up a little
bit. Yeah, he could vault a little bit. It's such
like who else could raise in terms of projection today if we got like an out tag?
I mean, as far as guys that are actually questionable, I don't really have a great answer.
Yeah.
It would have to be like Jokic out, Murray pick 15 now.
Right. Yeah. It would literally have to be like from the top ropes out of nowhere kind of thing.
Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, I'm not going to roll that out just yet, baby.
Yeah, it's true. It wouldn't be the first night back in the hoop streets if we just didn't get a random D tag out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like Jaylen Brown now questionable. Just hit me with
it.
Hey, the models kind of liked Ante DiVincenzo tonight.
I wonder if they haven't adjusted for the fact that Burks and stuff will be in the rotation.
I don't know. Cade? I kind of believe them.
Okay. Cade? We're playing the hits here?
Always Cade.
We took Sabonis at 9. This feels like a good. We flipped the board a little bit by taking Goon in the middle here. Zion, BI sits. We get Zion. We take Cade here, and then we can take whoever the F we want with the last one.
Yeah, let's get a little crazy here.
I think if D'Lo comes back, we take D'Lo. I think I kind of feel similarly about PG. If neither, I mean, they're both right there. One of them will come to us.
I think Paul George would be good. Like let's do some. I don't know. Let's game stack a little bit.
Yeah.
Hit the 2 overtime games.
Yeah, I wonder how game stacky like you could get that would be like optimal in quotations on a 12 game slate where like, I mean, if someone figured out the math of it, all we could find out that we're playing like pretty bad.
Yeah.
But if you look at like, you have tight spread, high total in this game, in the OKC Clippers game, you have tight spread, high total in the Dallas Phoenix game. And then you have a whole bunch of good teams that are projecting to blow out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, why not do like a
Bronze is a good one.
Kyrie, do like Kyrie KD,
right?
Kyrie Book at
from the 6.
Correct.
Yeah, I like it, man. People are so scared. And maybe it's because the robots are drafting, but people are so scared to sacrifice like 2 points of mean projection, you know?
Yeah, I think that's bad.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that shit no more.
Yeah.
Like you gotta make a stand somewhere. You know, like these projections they're not the answer key, you know? They're simply projections. And a lot of the time they're the answer key for how the field is going to play, not what the results are going to look like. So exactly. It's a map on how to deviate, you know? And
yeah, they're the benchmark, not the answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is, you know, kind of why ADP drafting it can be so efficient. Or not right, efficient, but so effective, I guess.
Effective, yeah. Oh well, especially in hoops. But yeah, I like this shout. Franz getting the bump. We talked about liking him as a swap option for the Paulo one, but also just in general. Cole saying a little spicy Margs discount pick 'em. I think we can find a couple we like tonight.
Dude, they got some really crazy juicy pick'ems. I think we can do something fun.
All right, let's do that next. I'd like to remind everyone too, there was a LeBron one for tonight. If you submitted the LeBron one yesterday or whatever, it's all good. It's like it'll just be treated as a winner. It was meant to be a free square, so it didn't matter higher or lower or whatever. Yeah, it was like you're supposed to select lower than 135 points or something like that on him. It's just going to be counted as a win tonight, just in case people have that one open right now.
I would never fade that.
Like, it's just such a D-Lo thing. Don't overthink it moment. I tend to agree, man. I hate that it's D-Lo night.
He's awesome offensively, I mean.
Yeah, and you get some bad perimeter guards kind of thing.
Ooh, Wemby too.
Ooh, I like it. 3. Flip the board. I like it. Flip the board, baby. Gut P is the new RT99 with the clock milkage. He's on the no-fly list. Jazar and Gut P and RT99 on the no-fly list right now.
Yep.
Josh McCaffrey saying that Sabonis's real-time ADP is like a full round later in the buzzer beater compared to the main. That's interesting.
I believe it.
Maybe just a byproduct of the player pool relative to price point.
Yeah, the player pool and the buzzer beater, at least at this point, is not the they're not sending their best.
Yeah.
Man, this is I got a lot of work to do. I'm trying to, it's a first day back in hoops, man. I'm not doing this let me play comfortably. I'm getting over my skis tonight. We're gonna have some fun.
There you go.
Welcome back, hoops, in a big way.
Oh, Chip this is the meta. You want to get that late round Sabonis stuff, play the head-to-heads. Oh, yeah. Play the head-to-heads and then get your Sabonis with the last pick.
That's genius. I used to do that all the time.
Okay, so we get the super chalk start
of
Hallie and Tatum, and we're saying, fuck that, and we're taking KD and Kyrie?
Yes, we are.
Or do you want to pair it with
awesome.
Do you want to pair it with the teammate in Booker, or you want to take the other side?
I think the other side has the higher ceiling.
Okay.
But I think you can do both, though, in a matchup like this. Like in another draft, do KD and, both. I mean, you're not going to get Kyrie back, but.
We saw it win like 2 before the break. There.
And I tried to do it. I remember when I told you I was trying to do that with the Kings.
It was the Kings side. Yeah. It was Sabonis and Fox in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I think I'm going to try a little game stack. And lo and behold, maybe it's something other people figured out and are like not telling people, or maybe it's not smart. And we're just like, trying something new. I think there's a little viability to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it.
Why not?
Yeah, Name screaming this how super teams are right. Good. This is like, I don't believe in throwing out drafts ever. And I mean, unless there's clear collusion or cheating or multi-accounting. But like I'm a big proponent of like, let the boys play. Like, just let anyone draft how they see fit. You can't read the mind of any drafter on the site. Like, you don't know if I'm intoxicated right now. You don't know if I'm fell asleep with my phone. You don't know if I'm going to the game tonight and just want to game stack this one. Like, throw ADP out the window. It's not a beacon for understanding anything. It's subjectivity layered on top of subjectivity. And just because the projections suggest that, like, hey, this guy's a fraction of a point higher, doesn't mean every draft board should fall that way.
It's true. I wonder, though, how many times the winner has been drafted in a room with like a projection bro, or AKA just like anybody from the Discord. How many who's given up the winner the most?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Just a question.
This is what I was actually thinking. The guy took Wemby at 2 to flip his combos, and we flipped it right back on.
Yeah, we said fuck you, dude.
Alley with it.
You're gonna take your chalk combo and you're gonna like it.
Yeah, GA, I don't know if you heard, man. It's the new meta. It is the new meta.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Rockets us say they canceled the draft because Jalen Johnson went in the first round. Then he put up a 50 burger. I mean, like, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. When do you draw the line? Like,
are we,
like a guy with a 30 ADP, is that too insane to take at like in the top there? Well, the results bear out that he goes for 50.
It's a good point, man.
Maybe he's just smarter than everyone. Because like, okay, like we've seen those drafts, like this right side of the board lines up the exact effing same way every single time. Allie plus Tatum, then look what comes back to us every single time. It's going to be Kawhi and Goon again. Like it lines up identically over and over again. You repeat these processes over and over again. So we flip the board in the first. You could now play right into the hands of looking the exact same as those other two by taking these, or you can keep scrolling and we take Sabonis and
we're automatically unique. Like we are already incredibly unique. But hello,
okay.
Sabonis. Like fuck yeah.
Okay, so we take Sabonis for sure. You take him in the front one in case there's a swap, because then you get a higher swap priority if you take him at 3 instead of taking him at 4. And then do you like Goon? Do you like Zion? Do you like Kawhi? I think I like Goon.
Yeah, I think I'd go Goon here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a nice fall there. That's what's crazy, man. There's some people out here taking Sabonis like 6 overall, and like it's weird. It's weird.
Well, it's interesting to note that, like, Got P noted volume auto drafter without pushing the plane. Shame. He has Maxi ranked higher than Sabonis because he would have auto clicked him there.
Right.
Yeah. And then these two recreationals were just looking at ADP. No offense, but just names that I'm not as familiar with.
What's up with
Beef
this
Stew got suspended?
Yeah.
Oh, nit's a poker term. Like, it's like someone who's, you'd be a nit. You're a nit. Like someone who's like passive, plays super tight, like plays like 16% of hands instead of playing 25, always makes really big folds. Like if you're just like a nit or like really tight with the bankroll management or stuff like that, that's a nit.
These fucking poker bros, man.
Nit's like a really good term. Like nit's really good.
I'm thinking nitwit.
No, it's like yeah. But you're like comparatively, like me and you're a nit. I'm lag. I'm loose aggressive.
I don't know, man. Not anymore.
He's baseball exposures? You've seen the light. You've seen the light.
My baseball teams
don't confirm. Don't confirm. Don't confuse exploitative play with either of those, because it's like exploitative versus GTO is like one separate palette over here, and then loose versus tight is on this one over here. So nit versus lag is like that they don't really intersect like that.
I would think loose and exploitative definitely go hand in hand, though, right? I mean, maybe not overlap, but they definitely go hand in hand.
Not always.
Maybe not always, but I mean, like,
yeah,
you kind of they have very similar qualities, though.
Sort of. I mean, in our game, yes. In our game, yes. In poker, sort of.
See, I'm with you, Nick. I'm gonna grab your collar through the screen, telling me I'm a nit.
Yeah, I don't know. Like being a nit was like the worst was like getting nit rolled. So getting nit rolled is like different, and that's when you throw hands. Cade and Jamal, and call it a team.
That's what I would do, man. Like
it would feel really stupid to play into a combo that already exists by putting Cade with someone from the 6th round right now. Like, this is a crazy unique combo we just built.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And man, I like Jamal tonight. Like, I know he was what? He's a little banged up there for a minute.
Yeah, he didn't come back, and then he sat the following night before the All-Star break. So he didn't come back with think it was a hamstring as well, but I might be like mixing him up with KCP.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
That feels iffy.
I will say that there was one team this year other than the Bucks who took a probable tag and sat him. Well, there's been a couple, but like in a big spot, and it was Denver did it with Michael Porter Jr. and Detroit did it with Cade. So like the two probable tags that we're treating as like everyday, like as if they're in, aren't guarantees in my opinion. But I think they both play. But I think like, there's a little teeny little fraction that they might not. TYY saying that, yeah, I mean, we talked about Mikal earlier in the show when we were going game by game, like that he does feel like a good scroll tonight. It's just that Nets rotation with the minutes is hard to project.
Yeah.
But there's some good scrolls back here. Like I like Reeves, DiVincenzo, the model likes Mobley, and Mobley becomes more interesting if Mitchell sits. We talked about the Franz one and like the replaceability there. You talked about J-Dub and Jalen. You talked about Kuzma. Yeah, there's some good scrolls, man, and the player pool is not going deep enough. So we just flip the board from the front side. You can flip the board by scrolling as well.
I swear these PRA projections have been lower than usual.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. Who are you looking at in particular?
I mean, like Maxey. I would think Maxey would be at like a 40 PRA tonight. 37.5. I don't know. Maybe the lowers have just been like crushing lately on some of these.
Well, let's think. That one with the Sixers is interesting because you get Tobias back, you get Batum back, and then we don't really know what they'll do rotationally with Buddy Hield and Kelly Oubre. It's probably just a reflection of them not thinking his minutes will be as solid as they have been. But that still seems kind of low, no?
He's still, yeah, like he's still gonna play a ton,
right?
I mean, it's probably like just right, but I don't know. What do you think about these specials? By the way, I did Shea.
You did Shea higher on the 31.5 points and assists.
Yeah,
I think I like the Tatum one best.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I like the Tatum one.
Yeah, and then you compare some spices with these, and your boy Ben Simmons has a very, very spicy one.
Is it double-double?
But yeah, it's super spicy.
I kind of like it, to be honest.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I could see Simmons' minutes limit. Holy, 4.75. Let's do it. Let's spice this thing up. I love that.
Yeah, big time spice there.
Okay, who else do we like? We don't necessarily have to make this 5, but I want to at least make it 3.
Luka has a triple-double spice.
Okay, next.
Trey Mann has a super spicy double-double.
I just don't know. I mean, he doesn't.
I mean, it's super spicy for a reason.
Yeah.
5x on I know Donovan Mitchell isn't known for his double doubles, but it's kind of wild that he's 5x on a double double.
It is kind of wild now, isn't it? Here's a guy who goes undrafted and he's got a positive return on the double double in Jared Allen. All right, what else we got? Walker Kessler. That feels all right. I mean, the AD matchup isn't. Or it's not it. Wait, why did I just blank on what game that was?
He's got Charlotte.
That's not AD. I was like, yeah. I was like, that feels good. I was like, that's gonna be Nick Richards or Grant Williams, not Charlotte. Yeah.
What else did I do? I said Jalen Duren double-double because I didn't think it was low. It's a doc, or it's a positive return, whatever you want to say, but it's not like that bad. That like of course Jalen Duren's gonna get a double. What are we talking about? That's all. That's the only thing that dude does.
Okay, Walker Kessler, 2 and a bit. What's Duren at?
It might be even. I think I was point.
I like the Walker. Let's do this Walker Kessler one. This is so on brand for me. Tatum higher, Walker Kessler higher on the double spice, and then Ben Simmons higher on the double spice. He gets expanded minutes. This is maximum of 10, turns into 6.
Pretty fun. Bless you.
Thank you. Did I mute it in time?
No, it was blowing my eardrums out. No, I'm just kidding. You did.
I tried to be as quick as I could. All right. There's those discounts are still available. There's for the next 30 minutes. So if you guys don't like that I chose the Tatum one, Nez chose the SGA one. There's merit in all of them there, but I like this shout. I mean, we've talked about the narrative of centers versus Charlotte, then Grant Williams. If Grant Williams plays the 5 and closes at the 5, and then you get Walker Kessler closing alongside him, like he could eat on the glass, right?
100%.
Yeah, I like that. And then Ben Simmons doesn't seem too far-fetched that the minutes limit gets restricted or gets lifted. New coach in town, 28 minutes from Ben Simmons, and he finds his way to 10 and 10 in terms of points and boards, or he gets there with the dimes as he's prone to do if he has a ball handling role. Easy. Dude, I am actually feeling this one. I'm glad someone brought this to our attention.
Dude, I think that the Ben Simmons double is just such a good multiplier. Like I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it could also flip the other way. Like they could have like new coach, and then he just, oh yeah, Simmons not our guy. Like and they just don't run him out there, and it's like Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, Bridges, and yeah, I don't know.
we see the vision.
Yeah, it's a little gal brain, but I could see it. Like they could do something weird with Dennis Smith Jr. or Schroeder. DFS is back. Yeah, I don't know. It could get a little hairy, but there's no reason not to play Simmons 25 minutes and he can double in 25.
It's worth it.
All right. I like it. Noah, when Dinger Talk? Tomorrow Dinger Talk. No dings today. We have a little something we got to attend to after this one. So we got to hit the wrap it up box. There. Brad, what's up, man? Yeah, we talked about the Skeens one a little bit on when he could pitch. We'll talk about it a little more tomorrow. I don't want to get Nez going too far down that rabbit hole.
I just want to say, I said Skeens 130, 120 is in his range of outcomes.
Okay.
Got called crazy. And then Eno, in his Pirates preview, said the same exact thing. And
love that.
Shout out to Mitch Keller, by the way, getting extended. So
yeah, 5 more years.
Yeah, dude, this is a steal.
Wow.
Did you see the numbers?
No, I didn't actually.
5 years, 77 mil.
Ooh, that's not bad. That is not bad.
We'll take that. You'll take that. I mean, perfect timing right after the Athletic hit piece comes out, and then they announce the extension.
Is that actually what happened?
It's not. I mean, it's just a coincidence. It's just like I think my feeling is on this, or they knew that the piece was coming because they got interviewed about it, and they waited for it to get published to announce the extension, just to announce it, but just to kind of get some positive spin on there. But I'm so glad that got published, man. They need that public pressure on them to make positive changes in that org. It's a crime what they do.
Now, do you think the Edward Cabrera trade comes now because it's published and there was all those rumors before?
Dude, you want my honest opinion?
No, I want your fake one. Come on, yeah.
I think fans fan fictioned this trade into a real rumor, and it's never actually been close to happening. I don't think it happens.
Okay, that's fair.
Because they don't need a starter. They have so many starters. Like they got this guy Jared Jones, who is probably going to come up before Skeens. To be honest, he's just not in our player pool. And Skeens, and like they've got a lot of pitching in the minors that they can bring up. They don't need to ship off. Like they can make better use of those assets that they're going to trade them. So I don't think Cabrera gets traded.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at Marlins rotation yesterday, and I was thinking about that stuff because I've been reading a lot of good stuff about Yuri Perez, and I'm like, man, I'm too low on him. I got to get way over on him.
Yeah, you got to fade the innings FUD. He's too good. He's too good to care.
And if that team's in contention now and they're like low key making, I mean, I'd feel a little bit better if they made another move for like an outfielder, or if they brought like Soler back or something like that. But if they think they can kind of do what they did last year, where they were on the cusp and they were buyers at the deadline instead of sellers, like it's going to run through their arms. Like that's what's going to happen. So,
yep. 100%.
I mean, he could be a horse. And the other thing, he's so young, right? He's like 21 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Best luck to everybody in the hoops streets tonight. We got that pick'em. If you feel so inclined to join us alongside, just posted that one in the comment section there. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing a little baseball tomorrow. Probably touch on the hoop slate. I think there's another big hoop slate tomorrow. I think it's another like 8 to 10 gamer there with a couple back-to-backs. Probably be a fun one to walk through, but we'll probably do abbreviated hoops and baseball tomorrow, Nez.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan.
All right, cool. Best of luck to everybody. Please do us a favor, hit that like, that subscribe, that notification on your way out the door. We would love to keep coming back and doing this alongside you. And unfortunately, that is the social currency in which we are reliant upon to continue to do so. So please and thank you. And yeah, anything to add, Nez?
See you guys tomorrow. Good luck tonight.
All right. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace.